Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan and I'm here along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Corey Kaufman. And today we're shining the spotlight on a special high school that caters to the performing arts.
It's called the Long Island High School for the Arts. And Bill, I'm a pretty talented guy. I got some doodles that will blow you away.
Corey, I think our guest will be the judge of that. Joining us today is Dr. Chris Bleeker, the principal of the Long Island High School for the Arts. Chris, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you have to tell us, because I think this is new to most of us, what is the Long Island High School for the Arts and where is it located?
So we're a program for high school students who are interested in pursuing the arts, and we are located in Syosset, New York.
Okay, it's close enough. And when you say pursuing the arts, though, obviously that's what your name implies, but do people go there like they would go, let's say, to Chaminade High School? Do they start out as a freshman and apply and go there for 4 years? Or is this in coordination with Mineola High School or Lawrence or Huntington High School?
Yes, so we work in partnership with the local public school district. So students spend their time in both their local public high school as well as LISA, which is what we call the Long Island High School for the Arts. And they spend 2.5 hours a day with us, either in the morning or our afternoon session pursuing artistic coursework.
So they, if I have this straight, and I'm just saying it for our audience, they would go to their normal high school, Mineola High School. They would probably take 2 or 3 courses in the morning. Then they would go to your school in Syosset and study particular classes dealing with various aspects of the arts. Is that correct?
Yes, we have majors that students would identify with. So they would either do fine arts, special effects, film, dance, theater, or music.
And I would guess, just based on our location, meaning so close to New York City, that's like a perfect location to be doing this. It's like an athlete living right next to the stadium or the ball field. Is that pretty much
There's so many opportunities for students in the arts around New York City. It's amazing.
And I would think, just based on all the schools and all the people, we probably have a lot of creative people on Long Island.
A tremendous number, yes.
You know who's outstanding? My co-host, Corey, now. Now I want you to be looking at him as he's asking questions. So now I put you on the spot. Go ahead, Corey.
Corbett got nothing on me. All right, I'll just say that. So I'm curious, so how long has LISA been around, and how did it get its start?
So the program started in the early 1970s, and this is its 46th year in operation.
Wow. So it's been, what is that, 46 years? That's a pretty long time you've been around. You look so young. Dr. Chris, let me ask you, is there any kind of an audition, if someone wanted to get in, how do they do they have to qualify? Like, again, we're going to use the analogy of the team because most people seem to know that with high schools, etc. Do they try out at their school? Do they come to you? How do they prove they're worthy?
So each individual public high school has their own process in terms of how the application finds its way to LISA. But once we know that a student is applying to LISA, we do have an audition process or a portfolio review that is related to the genre that they're interested in applying to.
So could you give us an example if somebody, well, you take one because you know what you're seeing day by day and the kind of students who come in.
Well, if they're applying to our theater program, we may ask them to memorize part of a monologue. They may be singing part of a song. There may be a dance routine that they have to perform. If they're a fine arts student, they're typically coming with a portfolio of their work that they've done to date. So it could be a painting that they've done, a series of paintings that they've done, or a photography that they've done, anything along those lines.
And are there special requirements? In other words, do they already have to have completed some courses either in this field, or do you say to them, wait, we want you to make sure you've completed your history requirements as a freshman or English or, whatever?
In terms of their academic requirements, their high school would certainly vet them and make sure that they're well on their way to getting a high school diploma. In terms of their artistic resume, we do ask for students to complete something prior to auditioning that lets us know the activities that they've done both inside of school and outside of school in their area of interest.
And just as a follow-up, I guess, again, I'm going to use Mineola, just a common school that we all know about. If someone went to Mineola High School, when they graduate, does their degree say the Long Island High School for the Arts, or does it say Mineola, or does it have both on there? Is it a special degree?
Well, it definitely says Mineola because that is the high school they're graduating from. But every year that a student is with us, we recommend 4 credits to their high school, and that gets denoted on the transcript.
Okay, so a little bit of both. But they're still a Mineola High School graduate.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and that's where they come from, etc. So, okay. Corey?
What kind of people attend this school? Is it mostly Long Islanders, or are there people coming from like the city or like out of state?
In terms of the student population, it's students from Nassau and Suffolk County.
How about the city? Does it go that far?
No, at this time we only have Nassau and Suffolk students.
Okay. And take us through the process. I'm that freshman who comes in wide-eyed, and the first day I'm there, I'm looking around. You have no idea even where the laboratories are or the classrooms or what I do. What's it like for a student there?
Well, I think most people would really stress the community that's formed at LISA as a really seminal experience for them. People feel really comfortable with one another and generally say we're a pretty nice group of people. So you wouldn't be lost when you first arrive on campus. There would be somebody there to greet you, and there would be a process to help acclimate you to the surroundings and to your peer group. So you'd be in good hands.
I was going to ask you, do you have your own basketball and football teams? Do they play the other, the Queen School for the Performing Arts and the Brooklyn Schools for the...
That's funny. No, we don't have any sports teams. The goal here is really to send students back to their school district to really participate in the rich extracurricular offerings that they have there. So many of our students are, for example, the stars in the plays in their high schools, or they're part of their school orchestras. We want them to be able to do both those things, come to LISA and still participate in their school district.
And of course, I was kidding about that because I didn't really expect that they would have that. But that makes a lot of sense, of course, because the schools have those facilities already. They're set up. They're part of Mineola, Levittown, Garden City High School, but this gives them that extra, I guess you could call it enrichment in a particular field where they have special skills.
Well, we really are seeking students who think that this is something that they want to do post-secondarily or professionally, and we want to arm them with the techniques that they need in order to make those dreams a reality. So we're really focused on technical skills that they need to acquire to apply to competitive college programs and beyond.
Maybe just a marching band, Bill. No football team.
No team.
Well, you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Long Island High School for the Arts with Principal Dr. Chris Bleeker.
Do you have a question, Corey?
So, I want to know, so what are some of the differences between LISA and other, maybe prestigious, these big-name performing arts schools? What do you provide that?
Well, we like to think we're in good company, so we do have a strong relationship with the Frank Sinatra School, which is a school for the performing arts in Astoria. That's kind of, in a way, our adopted sister school. So we're frequently in contact and communication with them about the kinds of coursework that they're offering. I would say there are some similarities, certainly, between us and a LaGuardia or a Frank Sinatra being the two regional sort of schools that are closest. The difference is we actually have a little bit more time on the arts. So if you attend one of those schools, you typically spend an hour and 40 minutes a day in your art form. And at LISA, you're spending 2.5 hours a day, every day in your art form. So we just have a slightly longer artistic focus than they do.
Who's your rival? Like, if you go to Harvard, they don't want to hear about those Yale people because they're no good and they're rotten. And if you go to Michigan State, Ohio State is the bad people. In the arts world, is there a rival?
That's the great thing. There is no rival. We are the only public school on Long Island for the arts. So that's it. We're it.
You're like the mafia. You have no competition, right? Nobody's against you. No, but that's great to be in that situation. So,
yes.
And you're not fighting with anybody, so you don't have any rivals. That's good. Can you tell us about some of the people who lead the master classes at the Long Island School for the Arts?
Right. So there's a few differentiators between us and a typical music or art program that a student would get in their public school district. The first is the fact that students are with like-minded individuals, students who want to pursue this passion that they share to the to the highest level possible. So having a cohort of students that are as excited about what they're studying as they are is one of the differentiators. The other are veteran teachers that we have that are both working artists as well as teachers. And then the third category that you asked about are master class artists. So these are people who come in and either do a residency with our school, meaning they stay for a period of time, sometimes a full year, sometimes a series of months in a particular artistic area, or they come and they just do a one-time only kind of presentation with our students. Some examples this year of some really great masterclass experiences that we have are partnerships with American Ballet Theater and Roundabout Theater, and also we have a group coming from Young Audiences New York.
Wow. So and being so close to the city, I guess, again, this is like an ideal place because you're getting the best of the best literally in the world. And some of them may come in and who knows, it might be an up-and-comer today, and 3 years from now it's someone we all know and they're a star.
Right. I mean, we certainly actually have a number of well-known celebrities that do come through and do want master classes. In terms of the residencies, we have these sustained relationships that not only provide teaching artists to our school, but also allow us to go into New York City and forge a deeper relationship with the institution. So if we're doing something with ABT or Roundabout, our students are also making use of going to performances that they offer in New York City.
And if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dr. Chris Bleeker. She's the principal. You know, that's the main person. That's the boss. We all have to listen to the principal for the Long Island High School for the Arts. Dr. Bleeker, if someone's hearing this and say, oh, this is perfect for my daughter, or if it's the son or daughter who's hearing it and saying, this is what I want to get involved with, tell us more information about the school, where you're located, how they can get in touch with you, how they get you, the boss.
Well, we're really excited to hear you might be interested, and probably a great first step is to go to our website, which is www.longislandschoolforthearts.org, or you can give us a call at 516-622-5678. We offer a number of open houses that happen throughout the year, as well as shadow day opportunities for students. You can also ask your guidance counselor in your local high school about us. Any of those will get you the information I think you're seeking.
No, that sounds great and a lot of fun and something they can do. Give us the phone number once again, because sometimes people hear it, they don't have that phone, that pencil paper handy.
Sure, get your paper and pencil ready.
Get ready, here it comes.
516-622-5678.
And at what point in the school life is this junior high, high school, first, second, third year of high school, or could they even start as a senior if they want to?
So we really focus on, during the school year, on students in high school, so high school age students. However, we do have a summer program for students in middle school and high school. So students who are coming into middle school can certainly check out our summer programs. They're great, and it's a nice introduction to the school.
Excellent. Corey?
So I saw on your website some videos, and it seems that the professors are very involved with the students. What is that dynamic, kind of the student and the mentor, that's very important when it comes to fostering kind of artistic kind of creativity, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, these are instructors who have walked in their shoes. You know, these are people who are working professional artists and who understand the challenges and the benefits associated with that. So when students are working with their teachers, they're not only learning sort of the theoretical aspects of their art form, but they're learning sort of the practical business side of their art form with people who are actually doing it on a daily basis. It makes all the difference in the world.
These are people who are in the industry right now, and you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, several of our music teachers perform routinely on Broadway. Another has been a soloist with the New York Philharmonic. I mean, these are amazing,
very impressive
individuals, and they are at a stage in their career where they want to be working with young people to kind of impart their wisdom, what they've learned, their professional acumen to the next generation.
Dr. Bleeker, we want to know more about the Long Island High School for the Arts, but at this point in the show, we want to remind our audience that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about the Long Island High School for the Arts with the principal, Dr. Chris Bleeker. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over. then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now we return to My Hometown.
Thanks for being with us here today on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan, along with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about the Long Island High School for the Arts with their principal, Dr. Chris Bleeker. Corey?
So you were telling us before the break a little bit about, kind of the environment and how students get the training and the education in their particular field. And I want to know what's it like. What is it like for these usually very young, high school age kids? What's it like being in an environment where everyone has the same interests? Like they're all doing the same in the art. They're all in the same art field. And do they often? Is it easy to get them to collaborate?
Yeah, I would say for a lot of students, it's salvation. That's the word that I would use to find a group of students who feel as strongly as they do about their interests and really see this as more than a hobby, but see this as something that they want to pursue professionally. So the relationships they forge with one another are very strong, and it's something that alums always talk about. In terms of being cross-disciplinary or multidisciplinary, that's definitely a direction that we've started to head in more and more. We're seeing that students, particularly in the arts, need a really big bag of tricks. They need to be really sort of cross-trained in a number of different areas. And so we have students more and more taking classes in a variety of different genres outside of maybe what they first thought that they were interested in. Also, they may not know what all the opportunities are when they first get there. They may, we all have this idea in our mind of being a performer on stage, but what if you want to do audience management or stage management or directing or dramaturgy? Those may be areas that are perfect for you, but you just haven't been exposed to yet. And when you come to LISA, you'll learn about those.
Right. And these kids, they build these relationships with each other, and then they go on, they go on into their respective fields. And, they wind up working together.
Right. So really strong in the Alumni Network. We've been here for over 40 years, for over 45 years. And so we have people who are working in all manners of industry that students can get connected with. We offer a number of internship opportunities and other job-related skills that they can learn through alums or through other relationships that we have with local cultural organizations. So there's that opportunity there for students as well.
That's why I'm working with Corey, because once he becomes rich, he said he'll take me with him, and I can get his coffee and clean the table for him and that. So he's going to give me a good life.
Oh yeah, I remember the little guys.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Corey. Dr. Bleeker, you used a word. I thought you said something like dramaturgy or something.
Yes.
That okay? You got to tell us, because that's new to me. I don't know what that means.
I think that's for the student who's really interested in learning about the history and the time and the place that a particular piece is staged in, and so that they can kind of add direction to some of the technical aspects of the performance.
That sounds, I think, even as parents and, well past high school age people would be interested in how that relates, etc., just as a separate lecture or something like that for the rest of us, not for the student per se even, but that sounds very interesting. I think on your website you have a saying that if you can't find yourself, you can't be yourself. And I'm learning as I'm listening to you how this Long Island High School for the Arts is bringing this out in people and their ability to use their skills in artwork. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I hear that in a couple of different ways. One, I think it's really validating for students, again, to be with other students and with adults who really support this passion that they have and see it as a real professional pathway for them. So in that sense, I think it allows them to be themselves in a way that they maybe can't always be in their local high schools. And then in other ways, just being able to sample the many offerings that we have on campus. You were hooking into dramaturgy, but I feel like with our special effects program, that's actually a new program that we have, and a lot of students had no idea what that was or that they would be interested in that. But when you're talking about creating special effects makeup, or you're talking about costume construction, or you're doing scenic painting, you may find that that's an interest that you had that you never knew about.
That sounds so cool, and I'm going to deviate and interrupt Corey's time a little bit, but Could you expound on that a little more? Because, do they get to make monsters, or they blow
Yes.
things up over there? And occasionally something sounds like a bomb goes off. No, it's just, we have a little war going at the college.
Ooze and fake blood.
All that neat stuff.
They are doing all of that.
It's all practical.
Yeah, it's very practical, very hands-on. I mean, I think of special effects as an applied art. So if you're somebody who likes to work with their hands, it's a great genre for you. Sometimes there's, again, this cross-purpose. When you were talking about blowing stuff up, I mean, we are a school, so we're not really blowing things up.
No, of course, we're kidding, but it's having fun.
But I was reminded of a student film that was made last year where the student created a watermelon to be like the inside of a head, and it was somehow involved in their film, and so it kind of was, I'm not going to, maybe this isn't really, it's a little gory, but I mean the way that it kind of came off in the film was very cool, the effect that it made. So they really, they are working with the gore, although it's fictionalized, to make their vision of what they had in their mind on their script or in their script come to life on the screen.
That's really awesome. I miss when there were practical effects in movies. I want I want to see the next Cronenberg come out of this school. We need more giant monsters. In The Thing, that kind of thing. I'm sick of all this CGI.
But these are educational giant monsters and educational bombs,
You
right?
get credits for it.
You get credits for it. Yeah.
Yes, and also with 2D and 3D animation class, there's a lot of opportunity there, too, for students to kind of create some effects.
We have to talk about this for seniors, of which I'm one, that you set up a separate program. Maybe we could come in the evenings, because this sounds just so interesting. I'd like to see how they do it and what goes on behind the scenes. So I'm sure the parents enjoy the trips over to the school when they come and get to see some of this and the introductions.
Yes, and we do try to post a lot on our social media channels so that those who don't have the opportunity to see things firsthand can see it. And we have a number of performances throughout the year where families and loved ones and special guests can come and view the students' work as well.
That's really so. I want to switch it up a little bit. Could you tell us more about the Long Island Scholar Artist Program?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about it other than to say that many of our students have been selected, but it's really a program with Newsday, and I think it came out of the space where regionally we were recognizing student athletes, and people in the arts wanted to make sure that students in high school who were really talented artists were getting some recognition too. So it's an honor that's bestowed upon a select few artists, high school artists annually, and it's great. It just kind of it validates the student experience for those in the arts.
That's really great, and it seems like that's what the school's about. It's just fostering artistic freedom.
Absolutely.
So you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Long Island High School for the Arts with Principal Dr. Chris Bleeker.
Dr. Chris, you have several concentrations there, and I think you mentioned it before, things like digital media, fine arts. I mean, when we think of art, we just think of, the typical person, someone drawing at an artist board and coming up with a work of art. But you've already told us you expand on past that. It's very creative. You have the people who make bombs and do the makeup.
Watermelon heads.
Watermelon heads and things like that. Now, is there a... what would you say, almost like a pecking order at the school? Like, are the ones who do the watermelon heads the top of the group, or are they the nerds? Or I'm putting you on the spot now.
Yeah, no, we don't have a caste system.
No caste system?
No,
Okay.
it's a very, it's a very friendly group of kids who are really happy that they're there. All students actually start their day together in our student lounge where we kind of gather until it's time for class to begin. And we're just in there together, happy. I'm saying we're in there together because my office is actually right off the student lounge. And the students there really isn't like bullying or anything like that happening. It's just a very happy group of kids that are so thankful to be in a place that really recognizes their level of interest in a subject that for some people, again, they don't get the support necessarily to pursue on a post-secondary level. So they're happy to be there.
Do you get somebody who may come in and say, I'm interested in the fine arts, and then again, I'm kind of joking back and forth, they move over to music, dance, or maybe blowing up things?
Yes, there are students who start out in one genre and then who seek to look at another area of interest, but they can also just sample classes. There's space for them in their schedule to try different things out. So if, the way it works at our school is you pick 6 classes a semester. So you have some space there to sort of play and try something that you might not have known was really a direction you'd want to go in. Also, we're really trying to expand the curriculum so that it's really reflective of the demographics of Long Island. And 2 classes that have really taken off this semester are hip hop and Latin dance. And I just think a lot of students who are finding their way into Latin dance have spoken about sort of the significant cultural roots for them in that course and wanting to be part of it. So they may not even see themselves as dancers, but they were attracted to the art form and they wanted to learn more about it as a way of connecting deeper with their own cultural roots.
And again, tell people if they're just tuning in. And by the way, if you'd like to hear the whole show, if you missed part of it, you can go to nccradio.org. You're listening to My Hometown. And, of course, you want to hear about the Long Island High School for the Arts. Our guest is Dr. Chris Bleeker, and she is the principal. She's going to tell us the website, the phone number, all that good stuff, and how they get that secret meeting with you without blowing things up.
Definitely the best way is to come to an open house. As I mentioned, we have one on a Saturday on February 8th. So if you can come by from 11 to 2 on February 8th, that would be great. You can meet me then. Or you can give us a call to schedule a time that's convenient for you, 516-622-5678, or go to our website, which is www.longislandhighschoolforthearts.org. And there we list several opportunities for students to come and visit, whether it's a shadow day or an open house.
And I started out knowing nothing about this, and I have to tell you, you've gotten me very interested in it. And I find those are the great professionals when, after a quick show like this, half-hour show, we're interested in law or dentistry or music. So you're doing a great job. Corey?
I think I just want to say, even if you're like me and you have no a technical artistic ability and your only talent is to talk into a microphone, take an art class, because right now I'm in a contemporary art history class, and that's why I was able to make that Courbet reference at the beginning, and it's very enriching, it's very interesting, it's very it's not a subject I thought I would be into, but I'm very into it. But what I want to know, are there any future plans that you have for the school?
A lot of future plans. We've just reinvigorated the curriculum, as I said, to sort of be more reflective of the demographics of Long Island. We're pursuing New York State career and technical education certification or endorsement. So we think that'll allow even more students to come to our school than that are currently there. So we're excited about that process. And in enriching partnerships, I mentioned 2 of the ones that we have this year with American Ballet Theater and Roundabout Theater. We're looking for other cultural organizations to partner with. And I should mention that we do have a lot of friends here on Long Island as well that have been really generous to us, in terms of their time and their attention. Cinema Arts Center in Huntington's a place where our students do their film screenings at the end of the year, and they do a number of classes with our students throughout the year. Sands Point Preserve has been a wonderful place to have. They've availed themselves. They've given us basically access to their glorious setting for concerts. So we've been able to go there. Old Westbury Gardens, we've done holiday carols. And so there's been so many places here on Long Island, the Nassau County Museum of Art. Even if you don't come to Lisa, I would encourage you to see all that we have to offer in the arts here on Long Island. And that's one of the reasons I feel so passionately why we need a school like this on Long Island. Every major city in New York, every major city in the United States has a school like this. And I think it says something about how a community values the arts when it has a school like this. So we want to have a school like this on Long Island. We want students to be able to see this as a professional pathway. And I hope your listeners come and check us out.
Well, you certainly made it very interesting. I know I want to know more about this because it sounds like a really fun place. And just the way you're describing it, it sounds like there's a great spirit and culture in the school between the students and the professors and the principals such as yourself. So again, thanks so much. One more time, tell our audience where they can get in touch with you.
Our phone number is 516-622-5678, or go to our website at www.longislandhighschoolforthearts.org. schoolforthearts.org.
Our guest today has been Dr. Chris Bleeker, the principal of the Long Island High School for the Arts. Dr. Bleeker, thanks so much for being with us
Thank you
today.
for having me.
Thanks for coming.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman. Thanks for listening to this week's edition of My Hometown.
We'd like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.